What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a bit of a discussion for you guys about the whole Hazard Zone and not being free to play debacle that has been going on over the last couple of days. Now, rather than my regular type of commentary, this video is actually a little snippet from the Battlefield Show, which is a weekly podcast that I am the co-host on with my good friend Sage. And if you guys do want to check out the podcast, we do upload over on the Uplink podcast channel, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all those platforms each and every Friday. So all the links you need are down in the description if you do want to go and check that out. Now, I was already planning on making a video on my own about this topic, but then after we recorded this podcast, I essentially said everything that I think about the topic right here anyway, so I thought I would just show you guys this snippet from the podcast. And so without wasting any more time, you guys sit back and relax, give the discussion a listen, and then be sure to leave your thoughts on the topic down below, because it is definitely a very divisive topic at the moment and everyone has their own opinions on it. Keep in mind that my opinion on this really isn't meant to be a complaint, as I personally don't actually care about their decision to not make it free to play. It's more just a bit of confusion about why they didn't. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here and let you guys carry on with the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. So we've always had these leaks and rumors around Hazard Zone being this free-to-play game and kind of like a Warzone experience, or I mean Halo. They're taking the lead on really doubling down on this free-to-play aspect of their game. I think they have made the biggest jump, because the majority of people are not going to buy the full Halo Infinite game just for the campaign. I mean, there's going to be a large portion for sure, because that's a big part of the Halo game, but multiplayer is like the long-term play, so they're making a big bet. But Battlefield is not making that bet, because this is going to be a mode in Battlefield 2042 and not a specific offshoot where you download the whole game like Warzone, and then you also have locked behind paywall. You have Portal and you have All Out Warfare, and then you have what you can play, which is Hazard Zone. They're not making that decision. They are saying, no, this is going to be part of the game. What are your thoughts on this?
I very much dislike their decision. I don't think it's the end of the world. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and stuff that are just going on about like, oh, this mode's going to be dead in 6 months and stuff like that. I don't think it's that dire, because Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown, they're both paid games, so they're doing very well. I don't think it needs that, but... Yeah,
but Escape from Tarkov and all of these other games, they're just that.
Yeah,
I think is where the struggle lies.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're buying that game knowing exactly what that is, and if you're going to buy that, you know, like I'm sure you've done your research on it. Whereas, for example, like if Warzone wasn't free, do you think you would have played it? Because I know you played it.
No,
exactly.
Never.
Same for me. That is literally all I played from essentially March of last year until early this year. I can absolutely assure you, if I had to buy Call of Duty to access it, I would never have played Warzone to this very day, because just Call of Duty was in that like kind of down situation where it had so many bad releases in a row, and it had that like stigma around it, that I had kind of given up on Call of Duty.
What was it, Blackout? Was that the mode?
Yeah.
That they had previously, where they tried it?
Yeah.
See, I never played that, and that's like a clear example of I did not play that game because it was locked behind a paywall.
Yeah.
It was the point of it being free was the reason that I played it.
Exactly.
And then ultimately the reason that I bought a Call of Duty game for the first time in my entire life.
That's the thing, is that like I had like I've said on the podcast, I've been a Call of Duty fan since I was probably, I think, like 11 or something, and I gave up on Call of Duty at one point because it was just the same thing every year and I wasn't enjoying them, so I stopped buying them. I probably had like a 2 to 3 year break, and then even when Modern Warfare came out, I was like, oh, like it looks better than the other ones, but I'm not sure. Like there's that stigma around it that I don't want to buy the game, and then it turns out to be shit. Warzone comes out, and the fact that it's free was like, okay, let me give this a try and see what it's like. I then bought Modern Warfare, and I bought Cold War, and I wouldn't have bought either of those. So they've made their $120 off me, plus however many hundreds on Warzone, that they wouldn't have made if it wasn't free. And the same can be said for Apex. If that game was paid, I can assure you, look at Titanfall, that is literally the same franchise. Those games failed. Apex is free, and now it's grossed $2 billion. So
Yeah.
how they don't see that? It's in their own backyard. Apex is the same publisher.
And they're taking so much
Yeah.
inspiration from Apex, which
Exactly.
is the crazy part. Specialists, the gameplay feel, obviously they want to say it's their own thing, but they're using it to kind of compete with Call of Duty and get that mobility back. But Apex, it's clear, especially like to a whole new level, because Apex Arenas and this game, in terms of Hazard Zone, they're very similar.
Yeah, it actually baffles me that it's not free, and I want to make it clear it's not. I'm not like complaining personally because I've already bought the game. I'm playing Hazard Zone day one. Doesn't matter to me personally.
Oh
but
yeah.
To the casual player, who, you know, Battlefield 5 didn't go well, and maybe they didn't like Battlefield 1 because it wasn't like a modern shooter. So the last game that a lot of these more casual players might have liked from Battlefield was Battlefield 4 in 2013. We are now nearly in 2022. They are going to have this thing of like, oh, like, it looks fun, but do I want to buy this game? I don't know what Battlefield is anymore because I haven't played in 10 years. And because it's behind a paywall, there's a very good chance a lot of those people aren't going to do that. And so my thoughts on it is that I don't think it hurts the game in terms of it's going to kill the mode. I think it just prevents the game from reaching the potential that it actually has. That's my issue with it. It's actually not hurting the game. It's just stopping it from being where it should be. So I am genuinely confused. I do not understand how they haven't gone, look at Apex, look at Warzone.
Yeah.
We need to do that. And not only that, but they've done this with Firestorm and it failed.
Yep.
And they're like,
They already
but
tried
let's
this
do it
once.
again. Like, it'll work this time. Like,
Yeah.
it's so confusing to me. But like I said, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I don't think it's like going to kill the mode. But it's just, in my opinion, it's a very, very dumb decision.
This is a game mode that would have been incredible to be locked under a paywall if this came out after Battlefield 4, like right after. But DICE has lost so much trust from the community around their games that this is not a good move in terms of the broad scope. Like, obviously, like you said, all of the Battlefield fans, we're going to be playing this game no matter what. We've already got our pre-orders locked in. We will probably buy it on multiple platforms. That's just a given. But the amount of people that could be playing a Battlefield game, could be filling the lobby so there aren't AI in the matches, the amount of people that could be moving the game modes forward and moving this game longer in its lifespan would be so much greater if this mode was free. And again, I've seen so many times people be like, but like now it's not free, like there won't be any cheaters. And it's like, no.
That is what
That's
an
not
anti-cheat
how it
is
works.
for. That is the literal point of an anti-cheat. And I get that is the only argument against this that I've heard that has any merit to it, but that is what an anti-cheat's for. So I get what those people are saying. It does stop, like, if there's a hacker and they get banned and then they have to buy the game again, that's obviously going to be a big deterrent factor.
It's going to be a deterrent, but it will not stop hackers from happening.
And if your anti-cheat isn't good enough to stop hackers, then free or not, that doesn't matter. You shouldn't rely on a paywall to stop hackers. That's the point. So that's the only argument that I've heard that has any like merit to it, where I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a fair point that you're making, but it still isn't. That's just not a good argument to me. Like, there is only positives to it being free. It doesn't hurt the game in any way. I've heard people saying like, oh, but then they have to focus on skins and all that stuff. They've already got skins. They've already got a battle pass system. They don't have to change their monetization in any way. It's built for that.
It would be better for them to do that too, because the game, obviously, it's a set price. You get $10 more on next gen and all that fun stuff. But like, it's a set price. The more money they bring in and the more skins they make, the more money they bring in, and the more support that this game will get, because more money is getting brought in.
Exactly. Like, the more money the game makes, the more that even the people who don't like Hazard Zone and they don't want it to be free to play, that still benefits them because they're going to get more content in the base game. So yeah, there's not an argument that I've seen so far that like makes any sense other than that cheater one, which it's just it makes sense initially, and then you go, well, actually no, that's the anti-cheat is for that. But yeah, it's just, I just think that not only are DICE this way, but I think a lot of the Battlefield community are just a little bit stuck in the past, and they're very like stubborn about moving forward. This game has to adapt.
This is a 2007 move.
Yeah, it literally is. This is not how AAA shooters do it anymore. Look at Halo, like you said, that is literally free. The whole multiplayer is free. Warzone's free, Apex is free, Fortnite's free. Name all the biggest games in the last 5 years, they're all the ones I just listed. They're all free. So, and it's not like they don't make money. They're literally the highest earning games. So,
yeah, they wouldn't keep supporting those games if they weren't making money.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, I'm not gonna like have a big cry about it and be like, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Alright, I'm canceling my pre-order.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's still gonna be fun, and I don't think it will die because if it's a good mode, it'll live. If it's not, then it will die. But that's not to do with it being free or not. But
yeah,
I just think, like I said, I think it's like putting a cap on the game when they should open up the cap and let it reach its potential. Because this game has the potential, or this mode has the potential that like all of those Warzone guys who are like, "Oh, this game's getting a bit old, I'm kind of sick of it," they would go, "Oh damn, there's a new Battlefield game that's similar to this and it's free, I'm going to get it." And then at that point, just like you and me, they get the game for free. They go, "Oh, now I want to grind, like this is really fun, I want to grind all my guns, I'm going to buy 2042. And then they've bought the game, and it's essentially not free to play at that point because they've bought the game. So,
or even if they don't buy the game, they're more likely to buy skins or like cosmetics.
Yeah, it's just it actually baffles me. I am just very confused. I'm not necessarily like that disappointed because, like I said, I'll be playing it. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me, but it's more just like it's just a confusing decision. It's everything. Everything about it is perfect except for the fact that it's not free to play. It looks and like it just sounds perfect for me. I love these type of games, so I'm really happy about everything. Just the fact that it's free to play, I'm like, that it's not free to play I'm just so confused about, and it was set up perfectly for it. So unless they have like a battle royale, add-on to Hazard Zone that's planned for April next year or something, then I'll be like, okay, now I get it. But I just, I don't know. I really feel like they're missing out. And as a big fan of this franchise, that I think it needs, or it deserves to be in that conversation with Call of Duty and Apex and stuff in terms of being just as good as any of those games. I think Battlefield is just as good as those top games, but they're not allowing it to be at that level. They're just not. They're not gonna. It will never sell to that level because they're not doing the like following the trends that gaming is doing right now. Because this is like you said, this is I don't know, 2010 decision where it's they're just like, oh well, the game costs $60. That's how gaming works. Well, it's not anymore. That's just not how it works anymore because your base game can cost $60, but I don't want to say need, but it's very much in your best interest to have a free element to your game to get people in the door. If it's monetized well, they'll still spend their money. You'll still make the exact same amount of money, but you'll get more players, therefore more money. And I just don't know how they don't see that, to be honest.